How to teach the upside down settle. This tutorial is for dogs who are very comfortable with handling, grooming, and already have a trusting relationship with their handler. If your dog is not comfortable with handling or grooming, you can work on just step 1, the play dead trick, as well as train the handling exercises in this video, handling shyness. If you are worried your dog is fearful, aggressive, or might bite you, consult a professional dog trainer who uses only positive reinforcement before doing anything yourself. Step 1. Teach your dog to play dead. While your dog is laying in a down, lower your dog's head to the left or the right and mark when the dog flips their hip. Then mark for the dog rolling onto their side, and finally mark your dog and feed for your dog's head resting on the floor. Choose a surface that is comfortable for your dog to set yourself up for success. So here are the steps again. Mark flipped hips. Mark elbow tuck. Mark head down. Feed your dog in position so that the dog gets reinforced for laying on his side. Step 2. Add duration and a release cue. Increase the duration that your dog lays on his side before you mark and reinforce, but make sure to go back a step and make it easier every once in a while so the dog doesn't find it predictably getting harder and harder. Add a release cue, which means that your dog can get up. If your dog doesn't get up, encourage your dog up and make sure to reinforce your dog for getting up.
Good girl.
Because I want this to be a calm behavior, I'm using a calm marker, one that I use for settles, handling, grooming, and other calm behaviors, and not a marker used for exciting behaviors like freestyle and agility. Step 3. Add handling to the trick of play dead. Once your dog has mastered the trick of play dead and is very comfortable with handling, you can add the two together. Reach to touch your dog, and if the dog keeps his head down, mark and reinforce. If your dog lifts his head up, simply move your hand away. Another technique is to touch your dog and mark when your dog puts his head down again. Never force your dog to stay. If your dog wants to get up or move away from you, let him. Step 4. Teach your dog to let you roll him onto his back. Caution! Make sure your dog has an empty stomach whenever he is upside down, whether for the settle, the roll over trick, or if your dog simply likes to sleep on his back or roll on his back out of joy. Being upside down after eating or drinking can cause bloat, which is life-threatening. This step could be very frightening to dogs, so if your dog is not liking it, stop and go back a step. What I am doing is luring the dog to roll on his back while supporting his weight from the underside. You can break this up into tiny steps, teaching your dog first to have your hand underneath his body, then moving up a little bit, and then finally having your leg touch him. Here's an example of a first training session. I'm marking for Lou lifting her paw up on her own, and then also marking for me touching Lou with my legs. For Bala's first training session, she's learning to enjoy jumping up between the legs and then rolling over just slightly. Once your dog is comfortable with being upside down, reinforce your dog for putting his head down.
Head down.
You can also use your cue for play dead.
Head down.
Step 5. Add handling while the dog is upside down.
Good job. Head down.
Step 6. Add grooming equipment if your dog is already comfortable with being groomed.
Good girl. Good girl. Lacey, free. You want to jump up? Good girl.
If your dog is comfortable with grooming, but not with being upside down, you can slowly teach him to be upside down while keeping up with grooming using a different method. For example, this method of cutting your dog's nails like a horse. It's always easier if you have a helper to mark and feed your dog while you concentrate on other things. If my videos have inspired you to make your own video tutorials, please give me credit for my ideas. Don't forget to show your support and subscribe to channel Kikopup.